Okay, hello everybody, welcome to another video here on Cm42TV. It's lovely to have you with us. Thank you for inviting us into your homes for WrestleMania week. It's WrestleMania week. Can you believe it, ladies and gents? It's WrestleMania week 2019 and I have done zero wrestling related videos, I think, all year, have I? I think in 2019, did I do one about the Royal Rumble? I didn't think I did one about the Royal Rumble. This must be like the longest time I've gone without doing a wrestling related video. There's absolutely no reason for that whatsoever. It's not like, oh, I've not really been watching or I've not got many opinions, because both of those statements would be incredibly false. I still watch way too much wrestling and I still have far too many opinions. But I guess I've been holding out because I was wanting to do a podcast type thing with that here on the channel, and I've just not got around to it yet. I said it would kick in about WrestleMania time, so maybe within the next couple of weeks, hopefully we can get that sorted. However, no promises, of course. Let's talk about WrestleMania 35, ladies and gents. My earliest WrestleMania memory is like WrestleMania 17, 18, even 16 I had on DVD. It was like one of the first DVDs I ever bought as a wrestling fan or whatever. That's like my early childhood memories and stuff. However, the first one I ever remember watching live was WrestleMania 21, which was in 2005. It was the first one I watched live, like up late, and I remember Stone Cold on Piper's Pit with Carlito and all the WrestleMania trailers for that year and stuff. Batista winning the world title, Cena winning the world title, Eddie and Ray having that amazing opener, the first Money in the Bank match, Hogan coming out. Like, I love that WrestleMania 4. I mean, it's a great show as well, but it also has like a sort of special feeling because it's the first one I remember watching live. Funny story as well, for the year before, WrestleMania 20, obviously that was back in 2004, right? So I was in primary school, and that's how long we're talking here. So I was in primary school, and my favourite wrestler of all time is The Undertaker, right? Which I've talked about loads here. So the thing about it was, obviously, because WrestleMania was on a Sunday night, and I would have had school in the morning, right? That was kind of a recurring theme with all pay-per-views, but WrestleMania, I always try to make a bit of a special effort. But this is still very early in my fandom. This is WrestleMania 20, right? So I had recorded WrestleMania, or taped WrestleMania the night before. So obviously I'd go to school on the Monday, come home from school and watch WrestleMania 20, another one of my favourite shows ever. However, the morning before I went to school, so like the morning after WrestleMania, my dad had fast-forwarded the show up until The Undertaker's return from the American Badass to the Dead Man again. He wrestled Kane, and I think he won. And that was like a sort of dad WrestleMania joke. I wonder if Undertaker won this one. So I remember that happening, and I remember sitting down on my floor watching the Dead Man character return, and I was just used to the American Badass and stuff. I was used to Biker Taker, Limp Bizkit Taker, you know, being my favourite wrestler, but I just wasn't used to the whole Dead Man Phenom persona sort of thing. So when he came out with all the fire and Paul Bearer's there and stuff, and he had the hat and he just looked so cool, I remember like getting further and further away from the screen because I was actually scared of him, which I look back now very fondly on that and being like, that's so cool. I was so into wrestling and I was so ready for it. I was actually scared of The Undertaker, so I remember that very, very dearly. And I love that show as well. WrestleMania 20 is one of my favourites. I love every WrestleMania. It's just the way that it works, because I love all aspects of wrestling. I really have to do a video where I kind of explain my philosophy on the entire wrestling business, because I believe it's very different to a lot of other people's. I don't know if that's because I'm a performer myself, I guess, and I'm kind of not in the wrestling industry, but I'm kind of in a performance like business industry sort of thing, so I kind of understand certain things in a different way. I kind of look at things differently, you know. So the fact that WrestleMania is like the biggest night of the year, it's like the one that we all work for, I kind of look at it differently, and like I appreciate it more, you know. So every WrestleMania holds a very little sort of soft spot in my heart, and here's hoping that this year will be no different. And if, you know, if the booking and if the build up to this year's WrestleMania, you know, means anything, and if that, you know, kind of hints to how I'm going to feel about this WrestleMania, I am going to fucking adore this WrestleMania, because I've sat on this couch watching Raw and SmackDown over the past couple of weeks, just like smiling and getting goosebumps and just being like, this is brilliant. We're totally spoiled at this point because there's so much talent, right? To the point where we are complaining that certain people aren't on the show, right? There's 15 matches scheduled for this year's WrestleMania. I think 14 or 15 matches, right? The Hardy Boys aren't in a match. The Revival aren't in a match. Kevin Owens isn't booked. Asuka is in the Battle Royal, the Women's Battle Royal. Andrade, all the people that are really, really popular. And we, obviously, we have these favourites and stuff, and we're like, why isn't this person on the show? Okay, let's take, so we've got Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio. Let's replace Rey Mysterio with Kevin Owens or Jeff Hardy or something. Then we'd be going, why isn't Rey Mysterio on the show? There's just so much talent and there's so many people that everybody likes. It just, there's not room for everybody. That's the thing. And 15 matches is absolutely ridiculous. It's so excessive. And but it's great. It's WrestleMania. You're allowed to do that. It's slotted on the network for 7.5 hours, including the pre-show of WrestleMania, event time, So the pre-show we have the Cruiserweight Championship match, which is a shame because they've been working so hard on 205 Live. But then again, what other match do you take off? That's another thing. The card is ridiculously stacked. You can't take any more matches off. All matches deserve to be there. And you get the 2 Battle Royals, your women's one and you got the Andre the Giant one. Predictions for those, I don't know. I'm assuming Buddy Murphy retains the Cruiserweight title. I'm being guilty and I've not watched 205 Live in a good month or so. Women's Battle Royal, Asuka needs to win without a shadow of a doubt. Or someone completely new. Lacey Evans, Nikki Cross, something like that. But it's got to be Asuka. And then the Andre the Giant, depends who's in it, I guess, because there's not really too many. It's going to be Strowman, obviously. There's another one. Strowman's not in a match, he's not in a big match. But it's like, where would they go? He can't wrestle Lesnar. He can't wrestle Undertaker. He can't wrestle AJ. He can't, you know what I mean? It's like, there's so much. So I'm assuming Strowman will win that. You get the 2 celebrity guys from Saturday Night Live are in that, which is random. But there's always a celebrity in thing anyway, so that's fine. I can understand that. Other than that, Strowman's got to win, or someone like, who, I don't know, Andrade, Apollo Crews, someone like that is going to win. But no one really, that's the thing, no one really cares too much, and that's a shame because there's so many talented people in there. It's not going to be Matt or Jeff unless somebody returns. Bray Wyatt could return like he did last year. He's so in and out, isn't he? He just does shifts, Bray Wyatt. Anyway, main card, I'm not going to be able to run through all the matches, I'll forget something. But the main ones, obviously, you've got your women's main event, which is unbelievable. So happy. Brilliant stuff. The fact that Becky, Ronda and Charlotte are the main event, the last fucking match. I love the fact that they acknowledged that there is a main event and that is it, The last match on the show, and the deserved last match on the show, is this triple threat match. Winner take all. How I'm feeling about that, I'm not sure. I would have been happy whether it's just the one title. I'm happy that it's the 2 titles. Obviously it would have been Asuka would either have had or like a singles match for the title against who, I don't know. But then if she wasn't having a singles match, there'd be uproar. The fact that the SmackDown Women's Championship wasn't even being defended. So that's fine. I also love the fact that totally threw like a spanner in the works. Like, what's another layer to this story? Charlotte wins a title. It's brilliant, great stuff, great booking, great storytelling. I don't want to sound like an inside, booker here, because I'm obviously not. I'm just kind of like using these words. Great booking, brother. Like, I won the strap and I wore it to the ring and I took it home and I lifted the crowd up and I brought them up and I brought them back down, brother. Shouldn't have done that. Anyway, so we have, let's see, what other matches do we have? So we got the main event. Who's going to win that? It's got to be Becky. It must be Becky. What an amazing end to WrestleMania. Like, this fucking story that we have with Becky is unbelievable. Since SummerSlam, this build, are they going to go with her? Are they not? No, she's a heel. Stop cheering. Okay, you want to cheer? She's a babyface now. Yeah, she's got to win. She will win. Other things that, could happen, but I think she'll win. I'm pretty certain she'll win. WWE Championship, another absolute goldmine of a story. We have Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan. What a random match for the WWE Championship, but it just works so well. It has come so organically. The fact that Daniel Bryan organically became a heel, won the championship, and totally threw us all off guard. Then had the stuff with AJ and all that good stuff, the great matches and stuff. And he's slated, I don't even know who he was slated against, but Mustafa Ali gets injured. Kofi Kingston comes in because he's a reliable hand in the ring, right? He's a good wrestler. Let's bring him in. He's done well. The fans get behind him. They push him to the point where he's doing hour-long, Broadways, Elimination Chamber, all that good stuff. And interacting with Vince, that promo on SmackDown with Vince, he was so passionate and stuff. It was brilliant. then he just comes so close to getting that shot and he keeps missing out at the last minute because he's doing all the things that he's asked of, but then another layer is getting thrown on there and he's getting put off it. So the fucking New Day, his brothers, his friends, his family win him that match. Absolutely brilliant storytelling. Brilliant. Such a good story. And now it's happening. And I believe Kofi will win the title. And I hope he does. Not because, oh, he's been here for 11 years and he deserves it. Because that's like an amazing ending. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so beautiful. It's perfect. It's going to be great. And it's going to be such a buzz. That match and the women's main event, the buzz will be mental. Speaking of buzzes, let's talk about Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar. You know, a match that is a huge match, is a main event, is the Universal Championship match, the Lesnar WrestleMania match, the winner of the Royal Rumble, but it's not really got that much buzz about it, does it? We've got those aspects. It's Lesnar, it's Rollins, he won the Royal Rumble, it's for the title, but there's so many other matches like Kofi, which is much hotter. We have the women's main event, which is much hotter. We have the Batista stuff, which we'll get to in a second, much hotter than the Universal title match, you know, so it's odd. I believe Rollins will win. However, the match isn't going on last, obviously, so that's an excuse to keep it on Lesnar, you know. So who knows, but I'm assuming Rollins will win. Let's see, okay, Batista and Triple H, we already mentioned it, so let's talk about it. Batista versus Triple H, another extremely random match, but it's been talked about for years and it's finally getting put together on this WrestleMania. So good seeing Batista back, just doing a wee thing here and there. The thing about Batista is he is one of us out there in the world. You know, doing well and being successful and getting people to love him in Hollywood, brother. And then he comes back to something he really loves just because he wants this match. There's a great story there, beating up Ric Flair and stuff, and Triple H has never beat him. He puts his career on the line, which I don't think was necessary. Me and Jack Boy Chicken G were talking about this the other day, how we have Kurt Angle's farewell match, and that they announced that it was Kurt Angle's farewell match. This will be Kurt Angle's last match. Where I think it might have, Jack was saying maybe it was, you know, it would work a bit better if it was like Kurt Angle has put his career on the line against Corbin, and Corbin could end his career, sort of thing. And we obviously we know it's going to be his last match, but it's not like spelled out to us. But I think the only reason it was kind of spelled out to us and told this is your last match is because Triple H was doing the whole if I lose I'll retire, which probably, like, most likely absolutely won't happen. There's no way Triple H isn't going to wrestle again, you know. So not in the shape he's in the mind frame he's in, and doing all this stuff with NXT and stuff. There's no way he's not going to wrestle again. So, and there's no, I mean, Batista wouldn't win the match anyway. But yeah, I don't know. It's an odd choice for a stipulation. But hey ho, it's going to be great. I hope Batista comes out with the pyro and the song and stuff. It's one of my favourite entrance songs of all time, and the entrance, the electricity and stuff. I hope it happens. I don't think it will, because he's kind of playing this sort of Hollywood big time sort of character, but who knows. It's probably going to be his last match, Batista's last match. So yeah, it's an odd one, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. Triple H will win probably. Let's see what other matches we have. Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin. The whole uproar with Corbin. Will something else happen? Probably. Cena, maybe, Undertaker, something will happen that will take Corbin out of the match. However, if it does not happen and the match goes ahead and it's Corbin versus Angle, I'm not too bothered by it, because I like Corbin, and I didn't like Corbin for the longest time, but here's me talking about it at the start of the video, like me looking at it differently and stuff. Corbin's great, you know, for the company, and he's just great. He's a great character, and he's athletic, he can move, he's a big guy, he can talk. People don't like him, you know, it's like, he's great, he's a great asset to the show. And the whole thing with Angle and stuff, him ended Angle's career. What I'm assuming is that Angle will put Corbin over on the way out, right? There's an insider term, brother. Because you never really lose your last match. You never really win your last match, sorry, you should always lose your last match. But I just can't see Baron Corbin beating Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. It doesn't, the way they've built it up is that Kurt Angle is this legend, and he is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, which is absolutely true. I just don't see Corbin beating him. It just wouldn't make much sense, you know. But I would be happy, I guess, if Angle was to win. Angle slam, tap out with the ankle lock, big, you know, celebration and stuff, fine. I guess that's when Cena can get involved and stuff, but it is an odd choice. A very weird choice. But hey ho, we'll give it a go, and we'll see what happens. Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. I was thinking about this earlier. 10 years ago was 2009, right? And I think I must have done a video or some sort of thing where I made like a dream match card, right? in 2009, and Randy Orton versus AJ Styles was on that show, was on a dream card of mine back then, because I was always a big Randy Orton fan. I've always been a big Orton fan. And then AJ, of course, being one of the great two. I mean, these are two of the best wrestlers ever, but obviously AJ being a bit better and just kind of more special, I suppose. It's a dream match for a lot of people, and for me. I think the match will be really good. It's that sort of like that workhorse sort of match that always gets showcased at WrestleMania. You know, like last year it was like Charlotte and Asuka. Year before was Kevin Owens and Jericho. Then we had Jericho and AJ the year before that. Things like that. Like these things happen. Year before was Rollins and Orton. There's always like a position on the show. It's almost like the second or third match is always like a good solid wrestling match, and I think that's where this will slip in this year. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. Another ridiculous story. It's Roman Reigns' big comeback, isn't it? And he'll obviously win, which is fine. You know, always been a huge Roman fan, and I am so happy for Drew. He's just done so well. He's worked so hard. I'm so proud of Drew. I'm just so happy for him. Like he deserves it. He loves it. It's all he wants. He lives and breathes it, and he's getting a huge match. It's not really been built, you know, at all really. But you don't really need it because of the whole Roman story and stuff, and Drew's kind of running through everybody else, you know. So very, very, very happy for Drew and Roman. Obviously that he's back and healthy and stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing two of my favourite wrestlers almost ever at this point getting a WrestleMania match. And I knew I'd do this and I'd forget about stuff, but Intercontinental title, Finn and Lashley. Finn obviously doing the Demon, another, you know, aspect to WrestleMania which is really exciting. Finn will win. Let's see, Miz and Shane McMahon. What is that? That's totally like been built so well. It's been building since 2nd October. It's done so well, you know. It's a Falls Count Anywhere match. I think this match will open the show. I think it'll be a great match. I'm so happy for the Miz that he's having another big time match. Miz will win. Yeah, that's been a greatly built story. A last minute match that was thrown on the show on SmackDown. Fatal 4-way tag match. We have the Usos, Ricochet and Aleister Black are getting a WrestleMania match. The Bar and Nakamura and Rusev. I'm assuming the Usos will win. Or maybe even Ricochet and Black will win. That'll be a huge moment. But happy for all those guys. It'll be really good. That'll probably be the match that's kind of ran through 5 minutes or something. But that's always the case. And if it saves WrestleMania being under 6 hours itself, I'll take it. We have the Women's Tag Team Championships. We have Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya. The worst tag team and the worst wrestlers in the history of professional wrestling. Nia Jax and Tamina. And the Iconics, who I love. I think the Iconics will win. I hope they win. I love them. But Sasha and Bayley have a good shout at winning. They've obviously just won the titles. But I believe the Iconics will win this match and win the titles. Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio. I'm doing all this off the top of my head. Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio. Joe wins that. I know Rey kind of hurt his ankle on Raw, so it's kind of doubtful. I think that's all the matches. I've obviously forgotten something. If I've forgotten something, I've tweeted it or it's in the description box or something. But yeah, I think I've got them all. US title, tag team titles, no Raw tag team titles, obviously, all the big matches. Undertaker wise, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he's going to show up at all. This might be an excuse. There's just so much, you know. This could be the excuse to kind of keep him off the show, which is a shame, you know. And even Cena as well. Like, it's almost not WrestleMania without Taker and Cena and Orton and Triple H and Lesnar and all that good stuff. So yeah, there we go. It's going to be an amazing WrestleMania. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see it. WrestleMania is always the best every year. It's just such a celebration. It's an event. It's the granddaddy of them all. The showcase of the Immortals and all these other accolades that it's given. So yeah, there we go, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy WrestleMania. I certainly will, and I'll be back with my thoughts a couple of days after the show when everything calms down, because I feel like I get a bit wrestled out after WrestleMania week, and I think that's totally understandable. Fucking 7 hours of new stuff. But yeah, there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Hope everybody enjoys WrestleMania this year. And until next time, stay very safe, everybody.